Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We talk animated shows and movies here, especially Miraculous Ladybug, which we'll be getting into right now. Find everything about us at overlyanimated.com. I'm your host, Dylan Hysen, and today I'm joined by Delaney Stovall
Hey y'all.
and April Collins.
Hi there.
Ladybug Crew is back to talk about the two latest episodes of Miraculous Ladybug Season 6, Daddycop and Werepapas. That aired the previous 2 weeks on Disney US. These are episodes 3 and 4 of seasons 4 and 5 of season 6, I think. And we
Yes.
previously covered episodes 2 and 3. TLDR, Thomas said it is not important to watch the season in order until the last few episodes. So if you are on the fence about starting the season with episode 1 not being out, from our perspective, it's been fine, and it seems to
Yeah.
not be a super big order this season. And no episode 1 in sight, so you might as well. You might have been following the saga of the episode that's going to air next week from when we're recording this. It was originally episode 1, and then it got taken off the schedule and replaced with episode 11. And
Yay.
now episode 11 got taken off the schedule and has been replaced with a repeat. So this is it for now. These 2 episodes.
Woo!
No more. I guess they only had 4 done. Here I was like excited for an extended Ladybug, winter, spring. No, we got 4 episodes. So we're
Low
talking
key
about.
needs a break.
I
Joke's on
guess
us.
you already need a break, Delaney. That's
Yes.
it's too much.
Yes.
Honestly, it is. So check out our previous season 6 podcast. We're not on video for this one, but check out our YouTube for youtube.com/overlyanimated to find the video for the previous one or upcoming ones.
Sorry, I was too tired for video. I was like, not today, y'all.
Not today, y'all, says Delaney.
Not today.
And so spoilers for Miraculous Ladybug season 6 episodes 2 to 5. Starting now, as we're gonna get into Daddycop and Werepapas. Delaney, what did you think of these 2 episodes?
So I had been prepared to have like the worst day ever because I was gonna watch both of them like back to back. Based on like reactions on Twitter and like April and Dylan in the group chat, I was like, great, I'm gonna die. I'd planned on spacing them out, but I didn't because I'm lazy. And then I was like, honestly, it was not as bad as I anticipated. Like
That's good.
Marinette could have been like significantly like more embarrassing than she was. So like I will say it was funny. So I'm watching, and my wife's not watching, but she's like listening, and she's like, "Oh my god!" And I'm like, "Uh huh." So so Daddy Cop, and she's like, "This isn't a problem." Like I'm like, "Uh huh." That's the whole show, babe. Like she's like, "This literally isn't a problem."
It was
So
a big plug episode for Tanya
big.
in the second
Oh
one.
yeah, no. So
Plug.
Tanya liked that about Werepapas. Yeah, she was like, "Oh my god, it's Pog," and I was like, "Yep, there he is." And she's like, "Oh God," because I was explaining to her because she wasn't watching, she was just hearing, and she goes, "Oh, so it's nasty." And so Plog wants it. I was like, "Uh huh." I was like, "He's
Yep.
going nuts. He's like all over the
Yeah.
place. Like he ran away." Um, I like these episodes. I thought they were really good. I'm really enjoying the new animation, especially like the fight, like when we're seeing like the fighting and the chasing. Poor um Sabrina's dad just always gets akumatized, but it's the car. So I don't even know if it's really him getting akumatized. It's always the car that gets akumatized. So I don't know what that's about. He does have a new car, I think, because
Yeah.
everything's
It looks
different now.
older.
Everything looks different,
Yeah.
so it's hard to
He
tell.
has like a retro kind of looking car. Um, so like obviously it was like a giant miscommunication trope, which is like the worst thing ever. And it was like literally driving Tanya up the wall. And I'm like, sorry, that's this whole show. So I have a little bit of some resistance. And like, you can see it coming from a mile away. And it was really like I did want to like throttle Marinette, but it was fine. I was like, okay, this is what we're doing now. But yay. Also, Zoe and Sabrina are gay.
Yes, we'll
Like, wow,
discuss.
gay. Yep. Those are and then Adrian's grandparents. I'm like, wow, there's a lot going on here. You can't how do you introduce 4 characters like that at once? Wild.
Is wild. We'll break it
Also,
down.
and then so April told me she cried. I'm assuming it was during this episode, and I'm assuming it's when Gorilla started crying, because I was like, damn. I'm not supposed to. But, like, Gorilla was crying, and I was like, oh my god, Gorilla. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Let's hear it straight from the source. April, did you cry when Gorilla cried?
Honestly, that like second half of Werepapas after the unacclimatization happened, it was all a blur for me because
That also was like, I also
Like,
was sitting there like,
yeah.
Like literally your vision was blurred from the tears.
I don't know. I've learned to function through tears.
For the record, people
but
did
I did because I had big fat tears, especially when they were talking about Natalie like being more of a mom to him and like being family. I was like, she is family. You're correct. Shut up.
No, literally. I also enjoyed that Marinette was like, no, it's Natalie. It's so good. Oh, and then right before she did it, I was warning my wife, was like, oh, just so you know, when this happens, Marinette has this really bad accent that she uses. And then it starts immediately, and my wife's like, oh my god.
The weird.
Yes, but April, what were your thoughts on these two episodes?
I liked Werepapas more than Daddycop. I watched Daddycop twice because I was like, oh, I'll probably forget things. And the second time, I was like, I don't like Sabrina. I mean, I like her, but like, it's so understandable for like no one to like still want to be friends with her. But also at the same time, like, that's your own fault, Sabrina, because you decided to be a bully. And it made me think about a conversation I was having with one of my sister wives about how like women are just naturally nice, especially to each other. And if like any woman is being mean, she is doing that purposefully, like with full intention. Like you have to like you're being mean when you're being mean, kind of thing. And so I was just like, Sabrina, you knew you were being mean when you were being mean. Like, I don't know. So I felt less empathetic and sympathetic towards Sabrina the second time I watched it. But that's just
the opposite reaction. It's like, she didn't do anything. It was just Chloe. All she did was do her homework.
Yeah, I mean, so Sabrina definitely like helped Chloe do a lot of bad stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say she helped a lot. Like,
obviously, the counterpoint is that she was in like an abusive, manipulative type relationship.
Yeah.
That being said, did she know what she was doing is wrong? Probably, right? But I think it's complicated, and the episode treated it as such. Yeah.
Like, look, even Alya doesn't like you. Like that, you messed up.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's still like hope for Sabrina, especially because she's gonna be amazing with Zoe. Hopefully, maybe Zoe will turn her around. But I was really excited that we got to see Chloe for like a moment, and I laughed because her sweater had like the honeycomb pattern on it.
Oh, did it? That's good.
Yes, and I was like, "But you're not Queen Bee anymore. Get out of here! Like you're in London."
No, she's always Queen
Dylan's favorite part of the episode.
We saw Chloe. Yeah,
she is alive, so we know that.
Chloe was, since we're talking about Chloe, was accepting new Minion applications. That was her video
via social media, like because you know that always turns out great, right? Like, but Werepapas was very interesting, especially because we got to meet the grandparents who we've never met, and we didn't know if they were alive or not, and I was like, oh, I guess they're alive, cool. Like, and we got those sweet moments with like Adrien and his mom and Natalie and everything like that, and I was like, well, this is so sweet. This touches my heart in so many ways. But also, I thought the animation looked really good during the fight scene in Werepapas. Not whenever like the grandpas were fighting, but whenever like Ladybug was, especially when the lucky
like, swinging under the thing.
Yeah,
and like when her lucky charm kept changing shape, I was like, "That's so cool." So, but
yeah, I mean, she was lucky charming like several times as the fully realized adult Ladybug that can use her powers. Yeah,
which we haven't really seen her do.
I know. I liked that we got to see it finally.
So, and we got a transformation sequence.
Yay!
Yes.
So
Yes,
excited.
Special made transformation sequence, which makes it's funny that we got that before a regular Ladybug transformation sequence in the new animation. Is she always going to be
Yeah.
a maid when she transforms now?
I hope so.
Let's find more excuses, I guess, to get her into the maid outfit. Yeah, I agree with April. Werepapas for me is the big highlight of the season so far. I'm pretty happy finally with this episode. Daddycop's good too, but it's kind of in line with the previous two episodes of the season. And which is that being fun, good, but a big step down from season 5, which was my opinions until this weekend, Werepapas. This felt to me like a real season 6 episode. Finally, like it
Yeah.
feels like a real follow up to the events of season
Right.
5.
Like we're seeing consequences from actions. So
like we're actually getting into the Adrian's family situation, following up on the Sentimonster stuff, and Adrien thematically with that. Meeting the families is good. And just the episode was even like we mentioned, the multiple uses of the power, that's a follow up on something from season 5. So in terms of like the content, it felt significant enough following the incredibly like significant feeling season 5, whereas I feel like previous episodes hadn't really met that bar. Also, though, it was just so well done. Like once we start to get into the big dinner sequence, I guess it's lunch sequence. It's so frenetic, like chaotic, fast paced, so well done. The building up of the tension with Millie,
Yes.
leading to the akumatization. I thought it was like so incredibly well done. Like I think you could argue this is Werepapas, one of the most well produced, well animated, well executed episodes ever of Ladybug. Just in terms of like the production side execution, and I do think we are seeing the benefit of the new animation here, just because everything was really done so well here in Werepapas. So yeah, I mean, there's fun Marinette's stuff here too. But if you've listened to me podcast for a while, I love a dinner scene from like Avatar Korra. I think this was an excellent dinner scene, just going back and forth across the table. This
other
is
shenanigans happening in the background
like,
while all of that's happening.
So
Like,
much complexity.
I like that we had like awkward Adrien.
Yes.
yes.
So much complexity, so much like dialogue and narrative complexity. This is to me when Ladybug really shines, and they like went off in this episode. So yeah, I am very happy with Werepapas. I hope that this is a sign of things to come with season 6, because I will say that I did remember that season 5 started off a little slower than most of what we remember. Like the first 9 episodes.
Season 5 was really slow.
First 9 episodes were like kind of different than the rest of the season. So I do think they it's possible they like to set things up in the beginning. So maybe the rest of season 6 will be more like this. That being said, I do think like the Sabrina stuff was well done in Daddycop, and I do, as much as Delaney said,
Marinette, setting up a lot.
Yeah,
we're following up on a lot of threads, like Sabrina without Chloe. That is a good thing to follow up on for sure.
And then we're like also introducing whatever's going on with Zoe.
Oh yeah.
Yes, we'll get into that.
So random.
I will say, as much as Delaney said Marino is less embarrassing these 2 episodes, certainly Werepapas she was less embarrassing.
Yes.
I will say I thought she was incredibly embarrassing in Daddycop.
Well, I will say in comparison to like the previous 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably less so, but it still passed the bar to me.
In the previous 2 episodes, and I think she could have been way worse in Werepapas, so that's why I'm like, this is fine.
Yes, well, in Werepapas, she's fine in Werepapas. She's like she actually is normal. Like season 5, she's back to season 5. Marinette, Daddycop, she is kind of utterly ridiculous again in honor of Chloe. It's less like I'm turning off my TV as the previous episode.
And it's funny because I feel like in Daddycop, like she's probably the most normal a teenage girl could ever be, because she's like forgetting about her friends and to like do some crazy scheme with like for her boyfriend at the time. And I'm like, wow, I remember being a teenager and being the exact same way. So like I felt like she was the most normal in Daddycop.
Okay, I like that. For me, the moment was, and we can get into it more later, but the moment was Sabrina's like, Sabrina offers her an out. Like, Marinette's like
Yeah.
freaking out over this. Sabrina's like, surely something can be done, Marinette. Like, she's being so exceedingly reasonable. Marinette
Yes.
says, no, nothing can be done.
Exactly. That's
That to me was the
teenage girl.
I know, but that to me was the moment when I was like, I cannot with Marinette.
She was the most normal ever in that moment.
She wasn't. I feel like she wasn't like this. Like, this is so exceedingly unreasonable. Like,
She's being an average teenage girl.
It's a good argument. It's for okay. It's a good point. But I just like, where was this? Like, there's such dramatic. Like,
exactly.
What I wanted, it was like if she could have just explained, like, it's embarrassing, but if she could have explained to literally someone other than Tiki that she wanted to do this special whatever, it would have been okay. But no.
Yeah, there was ample opportunity presented to her to explain everything.
What really gets me is when the girls are like in the bedroom and they're like, "What's with all this stuff?" And I'm like, "Oh my god."
The rose petals just doesn't match Japanese theater.
I'm also like, Alia could have figured this out. Like, Alia, are you being obtuse on purpose? Like,
Alia's like, I gotta let Marinette experience her own failures. Like, yeah, I think the theory. I think we previously had a theory that like this is Marinette when she has so much time on her hands now that everything's not so much like in season 5. Like, she just becomes the most dramatic and unbearable. So it checks out.
Becomes an average teenager.
This was definitely not my experiences with teenager, but
my other favorite part too is like she's like, we have to have our 100th kiss. Yeah, like we have to have our 100th kiss while whatever is in line with Jupiter, even though there's like no substantial evidence that says like, oh, you should do this thing. At no point she's just like so convinced herself, and I'm like, at
no point have we like heard her talk about astrology stuff really before.
I will say, I think this is more like, I liked it because it's kind of like cultural, because it was Sabine who told her this.
Yeah. I think we could have built that up a little bit more, but yeah, I do like that.
No, I love that it could just.
And then Sabine continued to be the best in Werepapas.
We finally see the parents, and we see her.
We'll say her dad was being hilarious.
Yeah,
her whole family was being hilarious.
Yeah, they were like me. They were like, "Yes, where is he?
Yes, where's your boyfriend?"
An example of Werepapas being less embarrassing. I like that it's like, oh, we have to invite Adrien over Sunday. Oh, we have to, and then Adrian's like, actually, I'm meeting my grandparents for the first time, and it clearly supersedes what Marinette was talking about, and the show treated it like that. It's like, okay, that's not important anymore. Because I feel like normally Ladybug would be like, oh, the conflict, oh, the Marinette's like, what are we going to do about this? But it was treated very rationally for once, I think, by the show.
By Marinette. She was just like, absolutely, yes. Do you need me to be there? Like, she's like, I'll figure out a way for me to be there.
I liked that he was like, yes, I want you to be there, as opposed to being like, no, and then her having to like sneak in and whatever fumble, whatever nonsense.
They were like an established couple in that conversation, and then after, Marinette was like a very supportive partner in that episode in a normal way. Well, then, it's like shocking to me.
Well, and then like having Natalie be a part of it too, and everything.
Marinette trying to bring in, I say normal way. She like put on a Cockney accent for no reason.
No reason.
It's not really normal, but in terms of the emotional like intent, like it's all there.
Look, for Marinette, that was this is we take what we can get. Look, it's better than Soapinator.
Oh. It was. It definitely was.
So much better than Soapinator.
Which they did name drop her. They said they were like, we should invite her sometime. And also Ondine.
I thought the way you phrased that, it was like, oh, we should invite Soapinator sometime. No,
yeah.
Sublime. So not Soapinator. Definitely don't invite Soapinator. No, this is a good point. Marinette and Adrien were a great couple in Werepapas. Like,
yeah.
I mean, they had their moments at the end of Daddycop too, after all the ridiculousness, but it's
I
like,
also
wow.
really respect Adrien being like, I'm not coming over. You need to hang out.
The emotional maturity of Adrien this season is absolutely mind-boggling.
He's not even a person, and he's doing way better than Marinette is.
Exactly.
How dare you?
He's
How
a
dare
scent
you.
of being.
Okay, speaking of that, let's come back to this.
Okay, yes.
I think our top story is the twin rings shenanigans in Werepapas, at least for this podcast.
I think this is okay, I think they're purposefully messing with us specifically.
Yes.
And it was mean. Like the things with the rings was cruel.
Yes.
Here's the I actually I think that we got answers in this episode.
Oh, we did,
yeah.
but it was still messed up.
It was messed up playing with our heart like that, but like I feel like this episode is maybe more explicit in some ways with the Sentimonster stuff than most of season 5 was. Not in terms of like, is Adrien a Sentimonster? He was explicitly a Sentimonster in season 5, but like with the rules and who knows what. Things are more clear now. That is another thing that I loved about Werepapas that again feels like it's really actually following up from season 5. Because tell me if you guys agree. I think it's like extremely clear now that Marinette knows Adrien is a Sentimonster.
Oh yeah. Even though there was a whole play and
right, but
she didn't grasp any information they told her. I don't understand.
But it was more acknowledged by her in this episode than it has ever been.
I think we didn't know coming into the season. I believe here's what happened. I think after the play, we like went over what Marinette knows, and we thought probably she doesn't understand Adrien's Sentimonster. Then in the finale, like Marinette in the epilogue, Marinette gives Adrien the rings and says you're free, and I was trying to argue that like I think that means she knows, and I think we're all like but like maybe not because she's Marinette, right? So I think even coming into this episode, we were kind of unclear if she did know.
Yes, I do think it was unclear.
But clearly now, because she was like afraid. She looks at the trophy where Adrien is,
and she pauses, like
before she destroys it.
But before she destroys the rings, only to repair them later. But she's clearly afraid of the consequences of that. I think that is like by far the show's most explicit acknowledgement that Marinette understands Adrien is a Sentimonster and understands the rules surrounding that he's a Sentimonster.
And in combination with after it happens and she looks and she's relieved because
she's relieved. Yes.
Like
I was shocked. It's like, wow, we have answers. Marinette knows Adrien's a Sentimonster.
Even at the table, whenever they were fighting over the rings, and
Marinette,
like
we were so concerned with the rings at the table. Yeah.
She like panics, and so and like. And it's funny because Adrien obviously doesn't know that he's a Sentimonster because he didn't think anything of it with losing the rings. Like, I think he feels more of that emotional attachment.
He kind of paused. I agree. I think it's like there's an emotional attachment to Adrien because Marinette gave him the rings in that scene and said you're free.
Well, and they were
his
parents.
And there's parents.
Like,
so I think he cares about it. But
Plog being a goblin.
Yeah. Where he's like, Plog's going to be seen. That was another aspect of the dinner scene is Adrien's also trying to hide Plog. There's so much going on. But yeah, no. And obviously some people listening are going to be like, it was clear Marinette knew in the season 5 finale because she gave him the rings. But it's like, okay. But it was in retrospect, I agree. But like, we needed, this is Marinette we're talking about. We needed some supporting evidence for that.
She did not grasp that he was Hawkmoth.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's understandable to doubt that Marinette understands something at every turn. I think that should be our default.
Marinette's reading comprehension. Like I'm not like.
Well, yeah, especially after like I was extremely convinced that after the play, she knew Adrien was a Sentimonster and she knew that Gabriel was Hawkmoth, and then we came out of it. And it was like she didn't retain any of the information that was given to her, and I was like, "What?"
I think in retrospect, she comes. Here's my interpretation of the events of the season 5 finale, which are then regurgitated in the London special. But I think she comes to understand Adrien is a Sentimonster between the death of Gabriel and the epilogue. Like I don't think she did know coming out of the play. Maybe she I think she's processing. I wonder if it was
because of Natalie.
Maybe Natalie maybe they
like
go over
straight
that.
up told her at some point.
I don't remember if this was addressed in the London special and we're forgetting, but
It
maybe that's
wasn't.
part of. I don't think so, but we saw Marinette and Natalie talk about stuff, so maybe this was also something they talked about.
Yeah.
But this is also like, not that this is like such headline news anymore, but it's also some of the show being the most explicit about Adrien being a Sentimonster again. Like clearly, like the show dangling, is Adrien going to disappear when the amucked object is destroyed in front of us, and then relief when he is fine after.
I wonder if he did disappear inside of that trophy, and then like because she immediately like returned things to normal. So I wonder,
true, like,
If
was
she,
he dead for a
you're
minute?
saying, was Adrien Miraculous Ladybugged back to existence?
That's
good.
what I
He could have
wonder.
been.
Because the miraculous ladybugs like reset things to before the akumatization happened, right? So like if it's resetting the things, then that means that then the rings would then become like return back to the amok.
I did. There was a theory I saw on Twitter, which was there's obviously this is what people are talking about, but one of the theories is that he was Cat Noir when it happened, and since the universe treats them as two different people.
Oh.
Yeah, that was on our Discord. I believe you saw that by Ursfura. So that I like that theory.
That's an interesting theory.
Well, I will say I don't know if they originated it. I think
it might have been for who knows.
I think they were
let's
go
over all the evidence here. So that was one theory. Sid on our Discord says were the rings in like the box when they were unmucked, and it has to be an exact state. But here's what Thomas said on the Blue Sky. So we have answers. One thing, because this episode came out a week ago on Gloob, so we've had a minute to digest. He says, like many matters for miraculous magic rules, intention does play a part. Otherwise, Gabriel would have been very foolish to Akuma. Okay, so he's the intention of magic. Yeah, I don't. To be honest, I don't really understand either of the things Thomas is saying, but he say like. It's not Marinette's not really breaking the object. It's like clearly to get the like she's intending to remove the Akuma, not to destroy the Sentimonster. So the intent of that matters.
I guess the other thing too is
go ahead.
I was gonna say I guess the other thing too is that the two rings themselves are the amucked objects, right? And so they would have to, because all that she did was like break them apart from each other versus like destroyed them. Does that make sense? So I can understand where he might have been safe in that moment because she would have had to have destroyed the rings, but all she did was break the rings. Does that make sense?
It makes as much sense as anything else to me.
Yeah, because all she did was break them apart, and then they like the two rings were like fused together and she broke them apart.
I think she cracked them.
Did she?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't remember. I should have rewatched.
It doesn't. I don't know. But yeah, it's a good point that the intent. She was not intending to kill Adrien. Here's another thing.
I mean, when you think about it, I mean, this is now. So it was already a magic object, and now it has been additionally magic.
So maybe she just got rid of the top layer of magic.
Yeah, I think that makes sense because, and also she's breaking something that was like done to the rings versus like I think it's a little different when you make an amok. Like,
well, weren't items amucked? Like in the same way that items get items are akumatized.
There's certain rules to the Sentimonster stuff that's like from season 3 that we're not going to remember. So it's almost not. Here's the second thing Thomas said. I'm not even going to like read it, but Miraculous Wikia interpreted it. I don't know if this is right or not. The interpreted the comment from Thomas to mean that how long it's been since the object was destroyed, if it gets repaired, does matter. So or like how long has the muck been in the object means that it can sustain without it for a long time. It's something about that, because Adrien was like many years in the thing, it being destroyed for like
2 items.
I don't think that matters.
I was going to say, it's also
Thomas
in
cites
2
something
items.
about Feast, the episode Feast, so I would have to rewatch it. So I don't really know. Yeah, to be honest, it's getting into the minutia of the Ladybug mythology, magic rule stuff. I feel like is always kind of a losing battle.
Well, I mean, I think the intention, it does make sense. And also, like, of course he didn't die. We didn't see the amok leave the object.
Yes. I honestly, I like Delaney's interpretation much as anything, that it's only like the top layer of the magic to the
I
object.
like that.
Here's the thing. Here's what I saw this, I think, on Ladybug Wikia. April's like, maybe Adrien did die inside of the trophy. This was the show doing Schrodinger's cat noir inside the, like, we Marinette didn't know if Adrien was alive or dead. Inside.
And he probably wouldn't know either.
Well, no, because he's dead.
I mean, do any of us know when we die?
I guess not.
I don't think this needs to become that existential.
It could be.
I actually like, I didn't like process that on first viewing, but like I think it's very clever that they did like a literal Schrodinger. I mean, not literal. They did Schrodinger's cat noir with Adrian's. I think that's very
now
clever
what this episode is going to be known as.
It is kind of the Schrodinger's cat noir episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's perfect for.
Is the Adrien in the trophy or not?
Also, it's also double, because in addition to is he alive or not, he could have been Cat Noir and not Adrien at the time.
Right.
We also don't know he could have also detransformed.
Yeah, he
could have.
Yeah.
Like he sent the message to Ladybug,
and then he could have stayed, or he could have left. Yeah. So, I just loved the. I mean. I guess what I like about this is that if Adrien's entire existence is tied to these rings not breaking, that feels very fickle. So I kind of like establishing this. It kind of cements him more as being real. It's similar to the themes of the season 5 finale.
Well, and also I think they need to be broken via magical means. So I think
they have to be cataclysmed or something like that.
Yes, and now that we've brought this in, it has to be intentional. So Marinette
I am intending to break these rings to release the Akuma. I am intending to.
That's what Thomas is saying. We're getting more into the minutiae. Like Ladybug's yo-yo is kind of magic, but anyway, just it's thematically, it was fun to get into this, and Marinette knowing and her being, so horrified
and acknowledging it,
and it's
that's what I liked. I was like, okay, so Marinette does know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was, and it was such stakes when this is it's obviously so annoying that the show isn't going to come out and explicitly say Adrien Sentimonster, although refer to the season 5's finale podcast for my thematic take on why that is. But this is given that they're treating it like this is a good use. This is building dramatic tension. The audience knows that there's giant stakes to these rings beyond Adrien's emotional attachment. Adrien doesn't know that. The other characters don't know it. We learn Marinette does know it. These rings are kind of fumbling around the table. They're used as an akumatized object. I feel like this was a great narrative space exploration of who knows what here, and building tension to the audience that characters don't know. So yeah, I mean, it was is the Sentimonster stuff going to just disappear in season 6? No, we're still doing cool things with this, so that's nice. Well, also, Marinette has the season 6 is Marinette knows that Gabriel was Hawkmoth, and that's a secret holding over Adrien. Well, now we know there's another secret Marinette knows, right? That he's the Sentimonster. Yes. Isn't that kind of more important, honestly?
I think so.
Yeah.
A lot Marinette's not telling Adrien now.
I will say they are also they go together, because he's only that. They're related.
Yeah, and is Felix not going to tell Adrien?
Who knows? We haven't seen Felix yet.
Why was Felix not invited to this?
I could see Kagami pressuring
Felix to tell Marinette.
No, Kagami pressuring Marinette to tell Adrien.
That is interesting. That Amelie's the sister. Amelie didn't wasn't there.
Amelie's not here either.
Well, I would assume that maybe they actually like go and visit her versus like,
or maybe she just didn't know that this was dinner was taking or lunch or whatever.
Yeah, I mean the grandparents directly called Natalie, and we know that Amelie was there in the epilogue for season 5.
Yeah.
So at least they saw her once. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, okay, let's talk more about the grandparents. Emile and Millie Graham Davanilli.
Okay, so Emily and Amelie. Millie.
And their dad's name is Emile. That's funny.
Yes.
And but there's also confusion on the other side. We have Johnny and Gabrielle Grissett.
Yes.
Gabrielle, mom of Gabriel.
Yes, which I loved. I wrote that down. I was just like, he's named after his mom.
It's too good. It sounds the same though. Does it sound different in French?
Maybe. Also, I couldn't understand a single thing they were saying.
It might be pronounced differently in like as a feminine and masculine. So like Gabrielle
and
as
Gabrielle.
Feminine and maybe Gabriel.
This is why we have to refer to him as Gabby.
Gabby.
Gabe. No, call me Gabe. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Here's my question: why do Gabriel's parents have a French accent in the show when we're in Paris and no one else has a French accent in the English dub?
What?
Because this is why. Because they're like.
Did you consider, April? Did this occur to you?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so
I'm glad you brought it up.
It's supposed to show them as like super lower class, and it's like it's also kind of funny in comparison to Marinette's like Cockney accent. So everyone else is speaking like prim proper French, but they're not. But no, you bring up a really good point. It's like, what do they sound like in French?
And none of these episodes have come out in French yet, so we don't know. My thought was that it was supposed to just be a contrast to the Graham Davanilli's English accents, like British accents. That this is the obvious, but was this a dubbing decision, or is there? So obviously they're gonna like all be speaking in French, or are they gonna have an accent? I guess of some sort in the original is the question. I don't know.
I feel like it might be like a dubbing decision.
It's just very funny when you think of like, why are they the only ones who's speaking in a French accent here? Is this not France? Do we not see the Eiffel Tower all the time?
I didn't see it today.
I didn't see it.
That's
either.
True. Yeah. Maybe so. Okay, this might be one we need to wait for the French and see what happens because that's funny.
Rewatch.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we'll come back to it.
Because how do you speak French with an English accent?
Well, we how do you speak English with a French accent? That's what we got, right? So I think
we got that.
We got. So I think your question, April, is something that French people understand if I watch, because they'll get like things dubbed and stuff as well.
Yeah.
So I think this is like such a complex dubbing thing that there's like cultural precedent for in every country. This I guess is an argument to watch things dubbed into your language so you understand. They can like make decisions to make this accent stuff like make cultural sense to you. Anyway, yeah. What's with the cheese dish that they brought over that Johnny, and why is his name Johnny, by the way? Is Johnny a French name?
Who knows?
Johnny. And Gabrielle brought Ballantines. I could not Google this. I could not figure out what it was. I'm sure people on the internet know what it is. Did either of you figure out what this is?
It's some kind of cheese.
I knew it was stinky cheese because Plog wanted it real bad.
Okay.
Yep. And then I was starting to wonder if she was like, if maybe it was made with alcohol of some kind because of how she was acting.
Yeah. That's the impression you get. I assume not literally, but she was just kind of like, food coma. I don't know. Not like
So I live in Kentucky, and we have bourbon balls, so it's like a candy made with alcohol. Granted, generally when you cook with alcohol, it's cooked off.
Yeah, it's cooked. It's cooked off. Yeah. So she's just getting like it, and it's also like it was thematically. representative
Well, and I
of
think
the
it was like
increasing distress she's under. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think for that reason, and also like, I mean, I don't. Cheese isn't like a big deal in like English cuisine. You know what I mean? So like, I wonder if that's also, I guess, like the decision for that dish particularly as well.
She had never had such flavorful food before.
Yeah, or such flavorful cheese before.
Are you blasting British cuisine here?
Yes,
no,
I am.
I don't
Yes.
know.
That's what we're doing.
They got a lot of like meat pies and stuff, right? Like,
Yes.
Yeah, that's all they got. Yep.
meat dishes, fish and chips.
What any other thoughts on both sets of grandparents here?
The contrast is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that
they should just let the grandmas hang out and those guys can just go away.
I loved that Johnny and Gabrielle were huge Jagged fans.
Yes.
They had
Gabriel's
the
like, as Jagged said, and he's like, did he say that? Well, if he didn't, he should have.
So funny.
I love it.
By the way, speaking of Jagged, just to put it out there, 4 episodes in, no sign of Luca.
Where is he? Oh yeah, no sign of Luca.
No
I
sign
need
of
to
Luca.
see the crocodile in the animation.
Yes.
I mean, look, do I want to see
Fang?
Wait, I'm trying. Fang. There you go, April. The
You're
true
welcome.
fan, the true Fang stan. And Jagged, yes, but like Luca is the priority here.
Look, we got Bob Ross. Why can't we have Jagged?
You're right. You're right.
Bob Roth on the show and no Jagged yet.
But also,
no Luca yet.
I feel like whenever we get Luca, we're also going to get Jagged. So I feel like
we've seen their mom.
Maybe. Yeah, we briefly saw their mom.
Julissa and Rose are being really gay in the background of Daddycop.
Yeah, we'll get to that. I feel like Johnny gets a little bit slandered here. I don't know if Johnny wasn't really doing anything wrong. He's like, oh, the male aggression. Like, yeah, I guess a little bit, but he was like
just
obviously the reasonable one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's and it's I do like the whole the repressed wife and the old-fashioned couple.
Millie.
Yeah, Millie was wonderful, and she got her due here. And
she has like all rights to like beat him with a stick.
Yeah, but instead
she was like, let me build this Super Smash Bros. Arena in the sky.
Let's go.
It's a good Smash Bros. Stage, honestly. Yeah.
Right? That's the first thing I thought of. I was like, oh, we're Super Smash Bros. In it.
It's a Battlefield. I think that's what it's called, with the 3 cloud. Yeah, the platforms.
Yeah. That's exactly what it was.
Yes.
Yeah. It was a fun villain setup. I was definitely reminded of the Marinette's dad akumatized into the fairy tale type of thing from I don't remember what season.
He was literally a werewolf. Like
they were both werewolves, which was hilarious.
So now both Adrien and Marinette's family.
Yes.
Like,
also, I loved that Johnny had shorts on that had French fries.
It was great.
I'm glad we got to see them having fries in like the end card.
Yes.
Because there's a lack of French fries for these French fry makers the whole episode. They bring cheese instead.
I still want to know what they were going to have for lunch, because all they ended up having were those little cheese things.
Oh, yeah.
Did Marinette prepare? Even really have them. Where was the other waitstaff? Was it just Marinette? Did anyone prepare the food?
She was the only
Maybe they forgot
staff.
About the food to get Marinette in there.
Which Marinette was bringing in something else, but then she spilled it purposefully on the paper, and then he had to know the paper.
Okay, so there was something. Yeah,
yes.
That's a good point. Yeah, I do like, and again, as a follow-up to season 5, I like meeting Emil and Millie here, as we saw them in the play. So we get to kind of actually see them and come into play here, and then using it as an opportunity to also meet Gabriel's parents. Bad look for Gabriel. Never introduced his parents to his child before.
I wonder if it was like one of those things where, like, Emily was like, I don't want Adrien to ever meet my parents, and Gabriel was like, that's cool. He can never meet mine either.
I think this is
it's because it's pretty clear that Gabriel was like embarrassed. Like he didn't want to be
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
associated.
because
with that.
I think that was a generous interpretation from Maple. Yeah, I think it's like Gabriel like renounces his
Yeah.
his poor upbringing, and so he
Mhm.
doesn't want to like sully his rich child with his poor parents.
Which
I
is really
guess.
funny because then again, like, because Emil's like, you're the dressmaker. That's what he calls him.
Oh,
Yeah.
Gabriel, yeah.
Yeah. And there was some talk of like Emil trying to pay them off 16 years ago.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
there's
yeah. I hated that whole piece of the
and then he's
conversation.
trying to pay them off in the present. Like,
yeah, he's like,
so
oh,
you're just trying
here
to
for the
negotiate a
money.
higher number. Yeah.
Excuse me, sir. No.
And then Johnny's like, no, Adrien should stay with us. That is the thing Johnny did wrong. He countered Emil's like, we should have custody with, no, we should have custody, right? So instead of saying Natalie.
But then also way to like take away Adrian's autonomy and
right. So they're both. That's what they're both kind
like
of.
None of them, which I think also plays into the whole Sentimonster thing and the rings being like flung about wherever because
absolutely it was representative. It was another amazing thematic use of the concept of Sentimonster, which has always been more of a thematic than literal thing to the show, which is why they didn't need to get it said explicitly.
Curse you, Ladybug team! Why are you so good?
Yeah, but like the Adrian's custody, of like literal his autonomy is being brandied about as represented by the rings being brandied about in the table, which literally controls autonomy in the mythology of the show. The show is honestly, I think this is top 3 thing Ladybug has been incredible with its entire run is the thematics of the Sentimonster with Adrien. So definitely kudos to the team for continuing to use this in a great way. And it makes me wonder. So I guess here's the question: does this coming up again here, was this a one-off, or does this mean that the show has an intent to actually continue to have Adrien being a Sentimonster as part of the plot of the show?
I think
we're also still dealing with Adrien being like, I don't really know what I want in that. So I think definitely we're still.
I think, yeah. And also because we don't know what's going on with Tomoe, and we haven't Tomoe's seen Felix at all. And I mean, I feel like it all sort of relates to Gabriel being Hawkmoth, which is, again, it's featured in the opening sequence, so it's bound to come up at some point. So I feel like that's also related to like, oh, I was trying to get Gabriel was trying to get the Miraculouses so that he could make a wish to cure Adrien's mom because she was using a damaged Miraculous to create, you know what I mean? Like, it all connects in some way.
Yeah. And I think Delaney's point is kind of what I was thinking of. Like, this episode it emphasizes Adrien. Yeah, he's not a model anymore. He's still trying to figure out what he wants to do. Might I bring in the very concept of us being critical of Adrien's new animation character model, which I did see a tweet or Blue Sky, whatever, response from Thomas saying, I don't remember exactly what it said, but what I took away was like, maybe we needed to keep Adrien having the exact look he had in season 5 so that it could change at some point, which I think we speculated.
Because everyone else has done gradual changes, like even Sabrina and Daddycop.
So we see Sabrina's new look at the end. So will we get the new Adrien look? And tying it back to what Delaney said, is that representative of Adrien's character arc and him figuring out where he is now that he's his own person? Then he gets the new look once he has this new self-actualization. So that all I think is what's happening. But is all of that also tied to Adrien learns he's a Sentimonster and that's part of his self-actualization and his new animation?
I think I can't wait for him to have like some weirdo outfit. I'm excited.
We're excited for that.
We break the cycle of like characters wearing the exact same outfit every single day. So everyone else is wearing the exact same outfit every single day except Adrien. He's wearing something different. every
I want
episode.
I want mine. I want them to go to the store and like he does like a fashion show for Marinette.
Aw,
that'd be
picking out
They're trying to
clothes
decide what he's gonna wear.
with Natalie
good.
and Gorilla there.
Yes.
No, just with Gorilla.
There we go.
And Marinette.
Gorilla thumbs up or thumbs down. When his grandparent Adrian's grandparents come, he comes out and I'm like, Adrian, you're wearing just like that T-shirt again.
Yeah.
Like
he didn't get dressed up for dinner.
So yeah, I know. I think it's an interesting point. Like, because I think for sure we're doing this like Adrian. Now that he's his own person, who does he want to be in the world? Is that tied to like him actually realizing, understanding the situation, and that being part of this arc? I think that's the really interesting thing we're going to be tracking here. Either way, I think it's a great arc for Adrian following the culmination of season 5.
Great.
Yes.
Other things from Werepapas. Anything? What made Marinette? Was this just an excuse to give Marinette another outfit? Like,
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was very cute,
Why-
and she.
Why she likes to do these things? She does it on purpose.
Yeah. She's trying to be
Look,
cute for Adrian.
We're already expanding past pajamas and default outfit.
Yes.
And Ladybug. But is it? She gets the transformation from the maid outfit, so they animated a transformation sequence just from this outfit, just specific to this one episode, which defeats the purpose of a transformation sequence with the reused animation.
Maybe we're not going
What
to
a
be
time
getting
to be
it.
alive.
It's like we're validating the existence of transformation sequences beyond reused animation. It's like this is cool in its own right. It's
Yeah.
like, so I do love that. Yeah, do we think she'll be like, is this part of Marinette's like outfits range now for the season, so that's why we can use it again?
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
I like the pink and she has like a pink skirt or whatever with the blue top. I like the color scheme on it.
It kind of matches like her other clothes though, a little bit.
And she's like a pink maid thing on the top. Where did she
Yeah.
get this from? Did she?
She made it.
Yeah, I guess she makes stuff. So she just had this as
She was
an
like,
option.
I'm gonna be a maid on Sunday. I better make a cute outfit for that.
Yeah, she's like, I gotta work on this.
Yeah.
Or did she have it ready? She just has a bunch ready that she like sews in her spare time now.
She's like, I'm ready to be a maid. I've had this outfit in wait.
It was great though. So the other big thing from Werepapas is the intro and outro scenes where we get
Yes.
flashbacks to young Adrian. The intro scene is Emily alive. See, we were right. She's alive in our hearts, at least. Talking to young Adrian. And Adrian's like, Daddy's never here. Oh, he's traveling with Natalie. Which, by the way, made me think, did their affair start when they were traveling around the world?
No, Natalie's better than that.
I mean, she's
forget-
better than... One of them is better than that.
You forget Natalie is the best. So,
Natalie's the best now.
yes.
I think she was
You're
maybe
also
not always the
forgetting,
best.
Dylan, that they're a throuple.
Oh, yeah, that
Right, so
too.
it could have all been consensual for sure. Yeah. But yeah, talking to young Adrian about the once they find the miraculouses, they'll all be together at home. There's that the scene looked to me like the old animation. I don't know if it was, but I think they did a great job of being evocative of the past that
kind
we
of
knew.
blending it.
Yeah, with it looked like what we knew of Emily and stuff. Did you guys like seeing the flashbacks at the beginning and the end?
Yes. Also,
So
I think
cute.
it also helps further prove the point that like Natalie's been like this
Yeah,
this integral part of like Adrian's like childhood and everything like that. Like it also just like further like drove home the fact that like Natalie's more family to Adrian than these 4 random adults who just decided to show up. So
Also, it just was just more like, wow, Gabriel sucks.
that too.
Yeah, no, but I think I think the purpose in the placement of the episode was to the overall theme of Natalie being Adrian's true guardian now. And then at the end, because at the end we see this kind of coda, this emphasis of Natalie always being part of Gabriel's life. Young Adrian, when Natalie and his dad do come home, and Natalie says is like comforting Adrien while Emily at that
Yes.
point is really sick and in the wheelchair. So it's like Natalie being there for young Adrien. We do see that, and we saw the emotional bond from when he was younger.
It's also so interesting too because we kind of get to see Natalie have that small struggle of like trying to figure out where she fits into Adrian's life now, because even like at the beginning he gives her a hug and she just kind of like hovers her hand. So I mean, kudos for being respectful of space, but also like she's
and then
just
and then at the end she does hug him back.
And she does hug him back.
After he says he wants Natalie is who he wants to be his mom. Yeah.
So
it was I thought it was beautifully done, everything with Natalie. And
I'm so glad we got to see Natalie. I've been missing her and Gorilla, but mostly Natalie.
That's what really got me. It was just so funny. Gorilla was just like crying like a baby.
I know.
All this is going on.
That
I love
man.
it.
If Natalie is Adrian's mom now, is Gorilla Adrian's dad?
No, he's the uncle.
Yeah, uncle. It's different.
You guys both say uncle simultaneously.
Yep.
Why is this so clear?
Because it's just obvious.
How obvious. Is it not clear to you?
I guess somehow it's not. Okay. Yeah. So no dad, Uncle Gorilla, wife Marinette. There you go.
It's because he has Hollow Dad.
Yeah, where's Hollow Dad?
Hollow Dad, that's the whole point of the Hollow Dad, is he can still be there when Gabriel cannot be, right? So, honestly, I can't believe we haven't speculated about this. So not, I can't help but go off the rails. When the second Gabriel died, what should have happened is it should have activated an emergency procedure, Hollow Dad.
No, did you not see the dead wife garden? It was absolutely destroyed. So
I don't care. He has backups placed of Hollow Dad all around the world. In the event of my death, emergency Hollow Dad activates.
It just shows up in his like prison cell in London, or prison cell where Adrien was being held hostage.
Exactly, with Adrien.
If you're seeing this message,
if you're seeing this, I have died. But don't worry.
Yeah, literally.
I'm still here as Hollow Dad for forever.
For forever.
I'll always be your Hollow Dad, Adrien. How did he not have emergency Hollow Dad protocol? Well, come on, Gabriel.
He had to cut it after he almost got blown up with his own rockets.
Yes.
Really? I mean, the answer is he's too selfish to care about what happens after he dies. But,
I mean, honestly, his whole endeavor was selfish. So
I don't think at any time he thought he was going to lose.
Yeah, it's his hubris, but I don't know, man. Emergency Hollow Dad protocol. I need to see this. We still have time to flash back somehow. Okay.
And we can and will do flashbacks as we've witnessed.
And it should be noted, we see Gabriel in the flashback. The show kind of like obscures his face, right? Like we don't really see him when he comes home.
We got to hear him though, but it was also like no, and like he walked away.
The show is, I feel like, clearly de-emphasizing Gabriel here, which is interesting. It's like, will we never? This is the show saying we will never see Gabriel and his face, except for the fact that he's in the intro, which I think
he's in the intro.
But I think it could be them building up to some sort of grander Gabriel appearance in the season. Like, we're not going to waste his reappearance on this flashback. It's going to be something significant.
Like when we see him, it's going to mean something.
Right. It could just be another flashback. It could be.
But it could be a flashback that has a whole lot of depth
a whole lot
to
of
it.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's most likely. Also, I would just want to remind everyone of my opinion, our best theory so far this season, which is that Lyla has past lives of all the previous butterfly holders, including Gabriel. So Gabriel's one of the voices in her head. So I hope we get to see that eventually.
That would be awesome.
I guess speaking of, okay, come back in a second to Lyla. The only other thing, only other thing I wanted to note from Werepapas was, I think Adrien's Gabrielle. She says Adrien is handsome as a princess, right?
Which is accurate. He is handsome as a princess.
He is handsome as a princess.
Someone says very, very, very handsome. I don't remember. Was that Marinette who says that after? But
yes.
I loved this so much. Like, handsome as a princess. I hope it's that way in the original French. And it wasn't like minimized or contradicted as a follow-up. Like, because usually any sort of feminization or gender subverting to male characters is like oh no, like I'm not a princess, right? Like you would typically hear that. I love that Adrien seemingly didn't care about that. Marinette didn't care about that. It's like a compliment, right? So
Yeah.
I really love that.
I loved it too.
And it's because he just has such intense princess energy.
He really does. Yeah. I mean, he is
He
the princess in the trophy. He's the princess in the trophy, I guess, waiting to be saved at the end. So.
Yeah.
Damsel in distress.
So I guess that's kind of maybe that's why they put that line there, because later in the episode he is in the princess role. Yeah.
Yep.
Also, in general, he's Marinette's princess. Like, really, that's like what the whole
He's
show
all
is.
of our princess.
Okay, let's briefly talk about Lyla. Not a ton of Lyla these 2 episodes, but
Good. I like that. Let's keep that
Okay,
up.
I have a very interesting, I don't know how interesting it is. I thought it was interesting observation about the people who've been akumatized. And it seems to like follow this trend of like, you think it's going to be one person, but then it's actually not. Like,
Yeah.
I felt like for sure, especially with like Werepapas, that I was like, oh, it's definitely going to be one of the grandfathers. Nope, grandma. Like Daddycop,
okay.
oh, it could very well be Sabrina.
Well,
Nope.
she
Okay,
rejects it,
we
yeah.
need to give Sabrina. We also need to give Sabrina her props for rejecting the Akuma. Like, good for you.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. So but even like what is it like with the one episode with the when she akumatizes the little girl, like I thought for a moment I was like, oh, it's definitely gonna be the waiter. Nope, little girl. Like so we kind of like are on this path of like, oh, it's definitely gonna be this one person. Nope, it's not that person. Like even like with Sublime, I was like, oh, it's gonna be Sublime. Nope, her mom. So like it's Lila's choices of who she's akumatizing are
because she thinks about it longer than 2 seconds.
Yeah, like it's really interesting.
Yeah, unlike Gabriel, the akumatizes the most obvious person. I like this analysis. Here's I want to add something else too. I think it's kind of been interesting that each villain has kind of just their own little agenda.
Yeah.
And then Lyla just at some point tries to subtly be like, actually, you could get Ladybug's Miraculous too. Like, whereas Gabriel at the beginning is like, you must get the Miraculous as part of his intro speech.
Yeah, she gets on their side first, and then she's like, hey, while you're here.
Yeah.
That's like Lila's style, right? Like in the especially in Werepapas, it's so obvious because all the villain's not even causing any harm. She's just having the
grandpas duke it out.
Two grandpas magically box. Like that's all that's going on. So yeah, I do think it's intentional by the show of showing that Lyla is like much more crafty in really just trying to get the like do what you want. At some point, I'm going to try to influence you in the direction I want, as opposed to Gabriel is just such brute force. As part of his intro speech, you must get me these 2 magic jewels. Yeah. So I think that it is really interesting, the approach we've seen with Lyla.
Also, where was she? Because
where was she in Werepapas? In every other episode we've seen so far, we see where Lyla is on the scene somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't notice that.
We didn't see her with I didn't catch anywhere we hinted of where she was hiding.
Also, we didn't know where she was in Daddycop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because they didn't even like hint at that there was like some random citizen there, like they did with the other 2 episodes. It was like,
yeah, that's true. Okay.
You know what I mean?
You're
like
right.
We didn't get that at all.
We see Lyla, but we just saw her in her lair in Daddycop. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so she's not always on the scene, but especially Werepapas, I was like, this is such an intern. Like they're inside the mansion. How does she know what's going on? I guess she senses the emotions and she sends out the Akuma like Gabriel. But it seemed like very well timed, you know. So was she hiding somewhere, like outside the mansion grounds?
She's like, I'm in your walls.
She's like, they never changed the security codes, so I've been watching the live feed this entire time.
I mean, she did break in before, so maybe. Wow,
they never changed the password. It's still password 123.
She got her Paramount Plus subscription to the live feeds. Big Brother joke. So the other things we saw in Daddycop were see another Anti-Kuma. Cat gets hit by the Anti-Kuma.
Marinette's like, Lucky Charm, a mattress.
Yeah, to stop you from dying after you get hit by the Anti-Kuma. But yeah, Lyla potentially Lila's like figuring out how to use the anti-Kuma better. It just like hits it actually like hit,
But it always seems
Cat's taken out, right?
she always
Of
seems
the
to take
battle.
out Cat Noir. So
Well, yeah, she'd
Let's-
win if she hit Ladybug. We can't do that.
well, no, but
Also,
I mean,
he's
also
an
it
easy
seems
mark,
like
let's be real.
she like intentionally goes after him.
Yeah, maybe.
So, and I wonder if there's a reason for that, because even like whenever there's been other like heroes, she didn't go after them. She's only like used it on Cat Noir.
Yeah, well, it's a good point. We'll see if she uses anti-Kumas on this the other heroes.
Well, and it's a good thing too. We also got to see like in Daddycop how we had all the heroes that half the team got wiped out, and they were like, okay, we have a couple other people we can call at least.
That's true.
Yeah. Also, yeah, in Daddycop we see Max. We see him getting called on, but I think Sabrina calls on Max. Is that right?
Yes.
So
they can call each other, which is fun.
Yeah, that's
I like
cool. That's cool that we learned that. Yeah, I do like that too. The only other Lyla thing we see in Daddycop, Nuru like starts to speak up and she silences Nuru. She's
Oh,
like,
Nuru! Can we please just see Nuru? Like, oh my god!
I know. This is abuse.
Oh,
this is worse than Gabriel.
I mean, it's the same so far as Gabriel, but yeah, that's rough. Nuru can't catch a break here.
But I also she's talking about like tactics and changing the plan, and I'm like, what is the plan, girl? Tell us.
Yeah.
Is she? We won't tell.
Honestly, the Kumanizations feel such low stakes so far. Like I said, she's just letting them do what they want for the most part. It feels like almost like she's just experimenting and trying to learn.
She's just trying to figure it out herself.
Rather than like giving it her all, like her main motivation is like if she succeeded, that'd be nice. But it seems like maybe she's just like taking data points in for her true attack later.
I mean, I can see that.
Which is to be fair, I mean, that's kind of what Gabriel did too. Like he's at the end of the season, he's like, my master plan now. But it's so much less calculated than probably what Lila's doing.
Yeah.
I won't lie, I miss the like
villain monologues.
Yeah, I guess that's what the monologues, his like dumb little jokes at the end. I kind of miss them.
I was gonna say we don't get any of that with Lyla. I mean, we got her like taking like furiously like taking notes, but like that's all that we really, and her being mean to Nuru.
Where are the puns, Lyla?
Give us the puns, Lyla.
You're too obsessed with the books and not with us. We need to hear.
Lyla, do you hate us that much? Come on now.
She definitely does. Yeah. Especially Delaney.
Those overly animated people.
Where are the puns?
Well, it's okay. It's mutual.
Yeah.
As made abundantly clear. Let's talk about, I mean, okay, we'll circle back to Sabrina, but before we start to fade, we need to appropriately get into Sabrina and Zoe, everyone's new favorite ship, I guess, ? So let's first start there. Delaney, did you read romance on either side, both sides of Sabrina Zoe, and are you shipping it?
It's immediate. It's both sides. Yes.
Okay. April, same question.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting those vibes that they could be into each other, but they're gonna work up to it.
At her.
That's true. She did wink at her.
Here's my thing. Until the last scene where Zoe winks at her and Sabrina has a little smirk, I wasn't really reading romantic intent from Zoe's side.
Not at first, but I feel like it changes at a moment.
I mean, she does wink at her at the end. It's a little hard to
especially whenever like Sabrina hugs her and says like, "You're the best," and she's like, "Oh, am I could be the best for you. Yes, ma'am." Like,
yeah, Sabrina hugs Zoe and says, "You're a great girl too," to Zoe. Yeah.
Which one? That's also part of it because of whatever Zoe's like going through, because she's like apparently was a bad person or something in New York City.
Oh,
apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the end, Ray threatens Zoe with some video. So who knows what? But Zoe gives a sad look after Sabrina says that. Says you're a great girl too.
Yeah, I think that's I think it's.
Well, I think that plays into the whole like whatever.
Right. So
Ray's
I guess it's
secret
referencing
is.
Ray at the end.
Whoever Ray is.
Yeah, some friend, I guess, back from New York City.
Look, I saw that boy standing there, and I was like, "No, who are you? You need to go."
Get out
Why
of
does
here.
everyone just show up in Paris? Like,
Yeah, it's the convening. It's where everyone's lives converge.
April, are you shipping them though?
I
Sabrina and Zoe.
mean, I could. I don't.
You're not in yet.
I'm not in yet. Like, I gotta see because I'm so very curious about how this rate situation and how that plays into everything. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay. Yeah. See how
because
Ray
why introduce it in an episode where you're also introducing them as potentially a future couple if it doesn't mean something?
Drama.
Yeah, I think it.
Drama.
Yeah, Zoe's character. It's a Zoe's character thing. My thing is like, we got to get past the weirdness of Sabrina going to Chloe's sister.
Yeah.
Like I'm not past. So my answer is I guess I'm not shipping it just because I'm not past that yet. The show's not convinced me to get past that at this point. This episode was a start.
It's
not
bother
like
me, but the show absolutely has to address it.
Yes.
I think they will. If
I
they
feel
really
like that's got to
to
be like a conflict for Sabrina too, because she's like, oh, this was my quote unquote best friend. Like, this is my quote unquote ex best friend's sister. You know what I mean? Like, it's like whenever, no, I don't know. It just, yeah, there's a lot of like weirdness at the moment.
Is any so what's our analysis? Is any element of Sabrina being affectionate to Zoe the fact that she hasn't moved past Chloe, or is she seeing Zoe as a completely separate person from Chloe?
This is hard. I mean, definitely I feel like the association doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
They are very different. Like,
it helps that they are very different and
Yes.
they look pretty different. So, especially with the new animation, which we'll get to. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like they didn't. I mean, I don't know though. I mean, Sabrina was there, like, and you know, they like lived together. So I don't know. It is. We need some. I don't know. Maybe we
Like,
can
I
have
need to see
Marinette
them
talking.
interact more.
Yeah, like maybe we need like Marinette or one of them to be like, "Hey, Zoe, so like, isn't this like kind of weird?" Like we need something like that.
I feel like Alia would be the one to say it.
I think that there is a world in which the show was not so much intending to present this as a ship and more intending to present Zoe as Chloe associated as part of Chloe's mess to be involved in the Sabrina growth here, right? Like Zoe is helping Sabrina get past her sister, much like she got past her sister, as like two people abused in the Chloe abuse club, right?
Love
like
it.
so.
Okay.
I think there's a world. I honestly am not 100% sure of the show's intent here. I think that I do think what I just said is true, but also there also could be a shipping thing on top of it. It doesn't mean that it doesn't need to be either or. It could be both. So they could be planting the seeds. Yeah, just there like a wink seems very intentional by Zoe at the end. That was the biggest thing to me. The wink seems a little intentional. So we will it all also I don't know, Delaney, I don't know what you think of this. Zoe winks at Sabrina as they've like helped each other. Could it just be like a queer girl helping like winking at another queer girl? Not that they're like together, but just acknowledging their
or even just like a hey girl, I got your back. Like I got
your
back.
like
not
a fellow compatriot is the
Yeah.
So I think maybe that so but that being said, if you're shipping this and like this is a good start, it's also a good start to the ship though. So and we wanted to see Zoe follow up on Zoe liking Marinette and then what's going to happen with her now. So is the show doing that? Is the show doing something else character with her? Is it doing a lot of things at once? I think kind of to be determined here, but I do like the Zoe focus and the follow up with her character. Definitely like let's Sabrina or not, we're still on the Zoe give Zoe a girlfriend train this season, right?
Yes, absolutely, always.
Give Zoe whatever's going to make her happy. She deserves happiness.
Apparently, she only gets trauma or past trauma resurfacing.
Exactly why she needs whatever happiness she can get.
Yes.
Delaney, since we spent some time counter, any other pro them being a ship arguments you want to present Was it just vibes? Was it anything specific?
It's mainly just vibes.
Do you think you're shipping it? Do you think the show intends it? Do you think the show they'll be? Is your prediction that they'll
Good
be
question.
together
That's a good
at some
question.
point?
I'm gonna go with yes. I do think it's intentional. They introduced Zoe as a queer character, and I feel like this just makes sense.
Yeah, and you don't really do anything in animation without intention. So
Ladybug's a very intentional show. We presented some alternate intentions they could do. God, I mean, it's just like one, the fact that it's Sabrina, like the sister thing, but two, it's also like making Sabrina queer. It's like, it introduces this element of she was attracted to Chloe, and that was part of their abusive relationship, and it's like that's a whole kind of separate thing that the show needs to very delicately kind of get into. That I'm not
Yeah.
that I sure that I'm sure they won't.
Especially because we've had 5 seasons of Sabrina, and her like attraction towards any other human has never been a thing. Like, it would be one thing if maybe there was an episode earlier on where like Sabrina liked whoever, a boy, a girl, and Chloe like got in the way somehow. But like Sabrina being attracted to another character has never been a thing. And so it's interesting to introduce the prospect, and it especially like kind of out of nowhere, if that makes sense, because again, it's never been a thing for us before as to whether or not, you know, Sabrina likes boys or girls or
like likes anyone. Yeah. I mean, people have interpreted her obsession with Chloe as romantic, but to be clear, she could be queer, and it could have not been romantic at all with Chloe, right? Like, of course, but it's like the show probably needs to like talk about that somehow.
You gotta figure it out before you do anything. Like,
so I don't know. It's like they've chosen the messiest option here if this is what they're going for. So it'll be interesting to see
I love it.
how it pans out.
I love it.
And when I say it like that, the messiest option sounds about right for Ladybug. So
it does. Yes. It does. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes. So we will see. Let's hopefully follow up again soon.
And that's kind of what Felix and Kagami are. It's like, oh, you wanted me to be with this Sentimonster, and I want to be with the other one.
Yeah.
It was pretty messy with that episode when they got to, yeah. So I think there's precedent. Sabrina in general, at the end she's finally accepted into Marinette's friend group. I think earned from this episode. I don't know. I think Delaney was a little bit down on her from previous misdeeds.
I'm still down on her from previous.
No, I was not me. I feel bad for Sabrina because I generally don't think she did like anything wrong.
Oh, April was down on her.
It was April. I'm like, it wasn't me. Don't put that on me.
It's me. I'm that problem.
Well, are you, April? How about this? Did the episode convince you at all? Are you on board with her being with Marinette's friend group?
I think it's possible, but I think that I don't like
April's like, I'm not here for it.
Well, it's not that I'm not here for it. I just don't think that it should happen immediately in full blown, if that makes sense, because because it's almost like then you're trying to erase like the past of like because Sabrina did bully Marinette, and she did bully everyone else. Whether or not she was under the influence of Chloe, it doesn't matter. She bullied them. And so
I think it matters. It doesn't absolve her, I think is what
what it doesn't absolve her. But she still did it. And so I think that in a show that shows so much emotional intelligence elsewhere, it needs to also show that here. Whereas like Marinette was the victim of Sabrina and Chloe for years. Like Sabrina even said, that was our favorite victim. Like, and so I think that you have to show that building of trust.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Otherwise,
that's a good point.
I might not. I won't enjoy it. Like,
I think part of it is I think Marinette suffers a lot sometimes. Like people also a lot of times like Marinette gets villainized. But it's like, I think it's almost expected too much that she should do the right thing. Like, obviously, the, like, quote-unquote right thing or the nice thing to do is to let Sabrina join the friend group. But it's also like, I mean, what has Sabrina done?
Yeah.
I think it's a good to April's point, and I'm not as on board with the like Sabrina was completely culpable, but I think it's a good point at least that there's some culpability. But the point being like Marinette specifically was the target of
Yeah.
Chloe here.
Yes.
The episode does not give Marinette the space to like accept or not accept that. She's too obsessed with the Adrien stuff. So I
Yeah.
think to April's point that we need to see this kind of develop more. We need to actually have Marinette the space to actually think about like, do I actually want Sabrina here? Because the episode, like, she was like not. It was not even on her mind.
I mean,
what was going
Marinette
on with
got like
Sabrina.
strong armed into it.
I mean,
So
she really did.
how does she
though.
really feel? Once she can like clear her head of the boy craziness, like what does she actually feel about this? Then and only then maybe can we actually fully accept Sabrina into the group.
Yes. And I need to see that building of trust, friendship, of a relationship, even
Yeah.
non-romantic. Like I need to see that in order for it to be real to me, because I mean, I understand this is a quote unquote kids show and sometimes things can be that easy and simple, but in a show that's so complicated, it can't be. Like we can't just have it. Like
I think there's a way that the show can do this throughout the season, kind of in the background, not like in the back, but like in subtle in like small moments throughout the season.
Like that, and that's all that I'm asking for is give me these small moments.
I co-sign that. I think that would be good before rather than
like
cut
she's
to next
immediately
episode, Sabrina's
scheming with everybody, trying to figure out how Marinette's going to propose to Adrien, whatever. Like
she can be there sometimes, but like show some moments of how the awkwardness of Marinette,
or even just a matter of like them of any one of the other girls asking Marinette or asking the others like, should we also invite Sabrina? Like,
yeah, that's a good point.
You know what I mean? Because
agree. That would be a good way of doing it.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah. How about hopefully more to come with this, but this is a good start to the Sabrina follow-up arc to Chloe. How about Sabrina's new look at the end? Also a new hero look, which I did not notice the Miss Hound difference that much, but
I did not notice it.
her human look is very different. What do we think?
Yes.
I like it.
I think she's cute.
Pull up. Yeah, that's nice. So that'll be interesting.
I liked her shoes.
More style. That maybe it's interesting. Will that be what with the type of thing we see from Adrien? She seems more stylized into the new animation for sure.
Oh yeah.
Look.
Oh
So,
yeah.
Look, I don't care as long as that boy's shirt gets ironed.
No, I love that it's not ironed because I also noticed that Marinette's like shorts have like the creases from where like her thighs touch her hips and things like that, and I'm like, yes, this is so real. I love this.
Nice.
I know it's like a really weird thing to like point out, but also I was like, no, I'm here for this. Like this is real life.
I just love her sparkly tights.
Me too.
Any other Sabrina new look or in general Sabrina thoughts?
No, I don't.
I'm happy for her.
Doesn't.
Happy for her. Okay, let's scroll down on the outline and go through the new. We see Marinette's friend group in Daddycop for the first time, so we see a lot of the new animation
all so
looks
cute.
for all of them.
Kagami is in her fancy, rich silk pajamas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I kind
of don't like Rose's character.
So Rose and Julika are the extremes. They look very different.
Yes.
Julika looks super emo.
It's great. It's him for her.
I kind of like it. She's in her because I have a picture of them in pajamas and then them in during the day. She's the green lipstick, which is a lot, but it
is a lot, and I love that. To be fair, in her defense, her father is Jagged Stone. She can do whatever she wants.
Yeah, really.
Okay, but on the other hand, Rose.
I don't like how Rose looks. I'm sorry.
Rose, when she's in her not pajama, in her human look, human look. Well, she
cute.
Also looks a lot. She has pink, like is eyeshadow
sparkly eyeshadow all the way
around her eyes. Her hair is different. She has a little
she's
bow tie
adorable.
thing.
She looks like a cartoon character.
Yeah, that's wild. Watching
they
her.
Are.
Well, no, but I mean, like compared to everyone else,
I think
like
what it is, I think her makeup just makes her eyes look ginormous, and that's the issue.
Yeah, I mean her hair is different. I think
it's
I think I will
shorter.
say I think she matches Julica. So I think that's maybe what we're going for. Like they both
They're
look
going for that sharp contrast of
goth, like I don't like, and not that she looks goth, but like they kind of like have
like
similar like
punky,
punk
like
goth stylistic. Like
alternative.
they look like a very alternative couple together. So I like
I
that
love
about
it.
it.
They're
Even
so
if I
cute.
do think Rose looks kind of not great with the, but I think it like does match Julica. So I think it's
I love her like unicorn pajamas.
With
oh
the
yeah, let's
hood.
oh yeah, she's a hood, unicorn hood, and her
Okay, guys, I
her
have it. So Julica and Rose are Princess Bubblegum and Marceline.
yeah, they
Yeah.
are they are for sure. Yeah, I mean they've always been, but yeah, they chose to kind of emphasize these aspects of their character with the new outfits. Like Rose is like especially pink and sparkly, and
I
Julica's especially alternate emo and stuff. So they kind of went in extremes with the new designs.
I think if Rose didn't have the eyeshadow, I would like her. I would like how she looks more. I think the eyeshadow's over the top just a little bit.
I think they're over the top.
Yeah.
While
But
we're
I guess
complaining, I want to complain that I hate that Alia's fanny pack matches her shirt. Why did
Oh,
you
I
do
hate
that?
that too.
It's
the
stupid.
plaid fanny pack.
Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
it's dumb.
It's not even the same plaid. That's the like the worst of it.
I just hate it. I hate it.
Like they could have very easily copy and pasted that pattern onto the fanny pack, and they didn't.
The fanny pack could literally be anything, and they were like, "No, this is what we're doing."
Fanny pack matches her dorkiness. Mylene, I think, looks different. I like.
Okay,
I
guys,
like. I
I
think I
like
like her tone.
Mylene.
We gave you a chance. Why didn't you get rid of her dreads?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will say they look better animated now. Like,
and I think they like match her. Her like outfit is kind of like color coordinated with. I think it all looks really cool.
Also, she has a gay pin.
Oh, she does have a gay
She's
pin. I
got a
just
little.
noticed that. Yeah, above the
And
ladybug pin.
it's like the gay pin. Like it's not like no one
It's
is
like
no one
it's
is
like
missing.
the all
She's
inclusive.
an ally.
No, I think she's pan. That's my
Oh yeah, that's right.
I would like that. Her and Ivan are bisexual couple or pan couple, so we would love to see. Okay, how about Kagami? We've been waiting to see her in action with her new. I mean, it's like I guess it's the same hairstyle, but it looks different, right?
I like her. She's adorable.
Yeah, I like her too. She's kind of got like this little punk edge to her in this animation style versus like the other. She was very like prim and it seemed very
I think the shorter hair does that.
I really cannot handle her like silk pajamas. It's so funny.
I love the silk pajamas. I need a pair.
With Kagami and Rose, it's like they weren't afraid to make the short hair short, which I guess I appreciate that.
I like that.
I feel like everyone besides Julica got shorter hair.
I will say, to be fair, Julica did shave the side of her head.
That's right. She does have
she is the half shaved. What character? Who am I forgetting? Which character prominently did this? Anyway, not in Ladybug. If it comes to me, I'll say Zoe. So I initially was taken aback by Zoe's change.
She's also got shorter hair.
The coloring, I don't remember exactly how she looked originally, but
she was those colors.
She was those colors, but not as much.
It just looks different with and it just pops a lot more. I will say, after getting used to it, I like it. I think she looks great, but it took me like the whole episode, I feel like, to get used to Zoe's new look. I like her flower shirt. So.
Which has a flower out of honeycombs.
Honeycombs, yeah, to keep with the bee
themed.
The bee theme. And Mylene keeps her little Twitter bird.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. Okay, any other new outfit thoughts?
I think they're all great.
I think Zoe's pajamas, I think, are pretty gay, so I like that.
Julica and Rose are like Ultima and Glinda.
They are cuddling in the pajama picture that we have here. That's nice. Okay. What else? What else do we have to get to? I think that's mostly it. April, was there anything else from the episodes that was on your mind?
Oh, okay. It was so subtle, but I swear, whenever Marinette transformed and her yo-yo appears, it sounds like a gun cocking.
I haven't noticed this yet. Okay. I'll look for that.
Please re-listen to it because I swear I heard it. And I was like, and I think I sent a message in our group chat and then I was like, wait, Delaney hasn't watched this yet. And I deleted it.
Oh,
is that
yeah,
what
that's
you
right.
deleted?
I didn't know what you were
Yes.
talking about. Yeah.
That's
okay.
that's why I deleted it because I was like, I can't explain it yet because I don't want to
I was
ruin
like,
it.
does Adrian's grandpa have a gun or something? And we is that what you mean?
No, but whenever her like yo-yo like comes to like forms, it literally sounds like a gun cocking.
I think that would have solved a lot of their issues if Marinette just shot Hawkmoth.
Yeah, of course. Oh, of course. Delaney, was there anything else from the episode you want to talk about?
Really, I think we covered it all. I just really love Sabine and Natalie. And now I do want them to, we still do need to have Adrien coming over though.
Yeah, we need our
Yes.
actual family dinner.
Yeah,
lunch,
we didn't.
whatever.
Yeah, we didn't talk that much about Marinette's family, but it was good stuff with them and her grandparents there.
I'm glad her grandparents are getting along. That's nice.
Yeah, that was nice. I feel like the grandpa looks somehow looked exactly the same as the old animation.
He did,
That was
yes.
That was funny. April, was there anything else on your list to talk about?
No, I think we covered everything. So I'm
Good.
content.
Yeah, and Marinette and Adrien, they do kiss on the cheek to not do the 100th kiss, and then they have the kiss at the end, and it doesn't need to be so special. That's nice.
Yeah.
They hug at the
Yeah.
end of Werepapas. That's nice. So yeah, good Adrianette. We're taking it for granted. We're taking the Adrianette for granted, but it was great for sure.
No, definitely great. Keep it coming. We're here for this.
Should the screen cap for the podcast be Marinette and Adrien hugging, Marinette in the maid outfit, or the family dinner?
Marinette in the maid outfit.
We don't need to feature the grandparents and the,
Nope.
know?
Wait,
Okay.
what? So do we want where Marinette's talking to Tiki in the maid outfit, or where she's standing next to Adrien and she's like displaying the full outfit?
Yeah, you get the full outfit there, but the shot of her like posing right before she
Yeah.
transforms, it's the better, I guess, like look in general, but it is nice seeing the whole outfit.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll pick one. Any last thoughts from either of you guys?
No.
I'd like Marinette to keep the chill. Let's do that.
Keep the what? The chill?
The chill.
Yes, I certainly agree. Certainly agree from Werepapas. Okay. So hopefully hopefully we've gotten past the 4-episode initial Marinette freakout. Probably not. Okay. Probably not though. So that's it for Daddycop and Werepapas. Let us know what you guys thought of these episodes. We don't know when we'll be back. Currently, Ladybug is not on the Disney US schedule. I believe it's not on Gloob as of this recording either. So maybe they only had 4 episodes done. Such Ladybug. I do think our intent, though, is to still follow the Disney US order. So if you hear it's coming back on Disney Channel, we'll be back at some point after that. So hopefully that's not in too long, but let us leave a comment, leave a review. In the meantime, please let us know what you thought of our discussion, of all of our theories. You can support us via Patreon at patreon.com/overlyanimated. Thanks to our current patrons, especially our patron of the podcast, Kent. And thanks as always to our patron executive producers, Steve Michael and Phoenician. Check out the other Avatar podcasts we've been doing in addition to Ladybug. TBD, what's coming next? We got to see what's going on with Ladybug. Nothing as of now. So in the meantime, send us all your thoughts. And you can also email us, podcast@overlyanimated.com. Thanks for listening, guys. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.